Hey guys, welcome back to DuckTales Remastered.
Woo!
We're opening the vaults just because.
Oh, that's right. In DuckTales Remastered, you can literally jump into the vault and swim in it.
Yep. You can't be Scrooge if you don't swim in the vault.
That's all this serves.
And you can't swim in the gold unless you're Scrooge.
Oh my gosh, it's not a liquid. It's a great many of solids that make up one giant solid.
And I do appreciate that the reboot does poke fun at that. It's like, you can't jump in there, you'll crack your head, but you swim in it all the time. That's because I worked hard to develop my muscles for it.
Which is great. Also, does that vault actually become deeper the more money you accrue during your adventure?
Yeah.
Does it?
Actually, no, I don't think so.
I feel like it's the same. It's just that the further along you go, like the more of those treasures you collect will be stockpiled in them.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, we have a new returning character.
Terry McGovern!
He
may or may not be.
He's gonna be at SEC Anime.
I may get to meet him.
Aren't a lot of Disney people gonna be at SAC Anime?
Nah, just him this time.
Well, I could have sworn you said Jim Cummings was too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so two Disney people.
Oh, God.
Very sorry for the flickering. I think there were missing frames there.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the previous episode. But like I said, it's not to like an egregious point.
I'm sorry, real quick. Mr. McD, you don't look so good.
Oh, it's so good.
You're not any better yourself.
Is that a graphic? Oh.
Well.
Sorry. So, is that like a graphical thing of the animation, or?
I feel like that's on Gwee's end, because honestly, for the many times I played this game on Steam, I've never had that issue.
I don't know if it's my computer or I don't know.
It might have been your specs at the time, because that flickering really doesn't happen on consoles, I could say that much.
It should be stressed that it has been a few years since we recorded this footage. We're only just getting to this now because, well, reasons.
I kept forgetting.
You're fine. You're fine.
It's like you got a job coming up soon.
And now we listen to...
I'm now in a job.
Yes, we are, and we're all in jobs, and now we're listening to my favorite remix in the game.
Oh yeah, Jake Kaufman really did wonders for the DuckTales soundtrack, and this is definitely one of the key factors in showing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see really quick. I just really hated these monkeys.
Yeah, they unfortunately serve that annoying NES quirk of always respawning whenever you're at a specific point of the screen. Okay, this is new for the remaster. You gotta collect a certain amount of these coins in order to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like a final, it's like the final MacGuffins for the end game?
No,
not for this level, but yeah.
Each area has their own sort of MacGuffin to follow. Though I do remember in the original DuckTales, you actually had to pay a certain fine in order to progress.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have like a gag associated with that.
Which unfortunately we did not know about in hindsight.
No.
Which is fine, no one's mad at you.
What happens in the gag?
Basically, in the gag is like, in this level there was a statute that demanded that you had to pay money to progress. Now, in the original game, if you take advantage of enemy respawn, you can technically use the enemy to pogo past that point, but it's very tricky to pull off. In this game, not only do you not have to pay, you can also destroy that statue and get more money out of it.
I think it gives you the exact amount that it asks of you in the original
those
game.
Years. Oh, can we pogo on spikes like Cranky?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can pretty much pogo on just about anything. You can pogo on pretty much anything. Well, almost anything.
Except for those Venus flytraps.
Right.
You cannot pogo on those.
Yep. And speaking of pogo, there's an interesting thing that this game does. There's technically two types of pogo control in this game. The first kind is exactly like it is in the original, where you have to hold both down and the pogo button in order to do it. Then there's also a simplified version where it acts more like it does in the sequel, where you only just have to hold the button.
These apes scare me.
Which, I mean, all things considered, I do greatly appreciate that the remake gives you the option to do the simplified control from the second game, because, I mean, the first control, I mean, it's there for the veteran players, but it just goes to show how archaic it was.
Yeah.
Aha! A coin bearing the image of the Queen's horse.
The Queen's horse? Oh, I guess he's talking about the tribal queen or something.
That's
Yeah,
my
I guess.
And honestly, I love how Launchpad was pretty much asking Scrooge the exact same question that we were probably wondering when that happens. Like, how can you tell? Yeah, there's literally nothing on the coin outside of a few circles.
Yeah, but he's a seasoned treasure hunter. He knows his stuff.
That's pretty cool. Hey, what's a horse?
Oh,
What's a horse?
I'm sorry. It's like, Mr. McD, what do you rich duck guys see?
Oop. Why'd I have you again? Oh, speaking of Scrooge, just going to the reboot real quick, although not directly back to the reboot. John, wasn't there something you wanted to say about Scrooge's actor in the reboot?
Yeah, in the reboot, what's it called? For those who've watched the reboot, it's pretty obvious, but in the reboot, Scrooge is voiced by David Tennant, and that's significant to me because...
oh, hello.
Because,
Yeah, I don't remember what I did here. I
you
guess,
just went down.
I was close. Yeah, I was close enough to this lower level that I just decided to splice it together.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, go ahead and pay no mind to us, John. Continue your story.
So basically, he plays a role, a very interesting role in a game that came out not too very long ago in Call of Duty World War II. He plays a character named Drostin in what's it called? In Zombies, and he has a potty mouth and a half in Zombies, and it's hilarious.
By zombies, you're talking about Zombie U, right?
No. It's.
He's still talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's a Call of Duty thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a little too engrossed in the whole thing of Launchpad having gloves in his glove compartment for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's where the gloves go. And actually, if I could just go from one Scrooge actor to another, I just want to say, I commend Alan Young greatly, considering, like, I think he was like 96 by the time he recorded this, and he still sounds like super lively for his age at that time.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that though, because honestly, even I could tell, like, with his recordings for DuckTales Remastered, he was. I mean, say what you will about him being still as lively as ever, you can still hear his age.
Oh, you can hear the age, but I definitely. Oh boy. You can hear the age, but I appreciate the energy he put into it in spite of his age. You know, it's kind of like how much we love Bill Farmer in the newer Mickey shorts, just because of how much he puts into it.
Can I just say though, something I just realized is kind of depressing. Alan Young's I still distinctly remember Alan Young's last words as Scrooge McDuck, and they were literally, and I quote, 5+ interest.
Yeah. Yeah, in the episode where Mickey was trying to learn how to say no.
Wait, was that him?
Yeah, that was him.
Okay,
that was still
okay.
him. Like, like in the beginning of the short, like, he literally approached Mickey and he was all,
"Can I borrow $5?"
Yeah, I think you're right.
and then at the end of the short, he literally gave him back his money plus interest.
Mm-hmm.
Which is literally the last thing he ever did before his passing.
Well, the last thing is Scrooge, anyway.
Well, yeah.
Look at this one. It shows a shield. You know, I bet those Incans could have minted a whole lot more coins if they hadn't tried to make each one unique.
Yeah, they probably could have.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do applaud their ingenuity. It's just that, well, it's not. That shit takes time.
Yeah. And they I don't think they were for minting a lot of coins.
Yeah.
It was more of a symbolic importance.
I could be wrong, but I think we missed an Gwee.
I didn't think that was a pit of death. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? That is something that I guess should be taken note of. There's a lot of instances, and the remake does cash in on people that remember it for the original. The remake does hide a lot of goodies in places that are disguised as dead ends in the original.
Which, speaking of, we did miss another secret, like, way back there when she found that other coin. Like, you could actually have gone further into that and found, like, a whole treasure trove of stuff. And also, I do appreciate that for this playthrough, she's pretty much just going on the easy mode, so she doesn't have to worry about getting a game over anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oop.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Get used to hearing that every other time he climbs up these vines.
Yeah. There's the other coin.
John, have you ever tried out this game or played the original?
I've seen plenty of footage of DuckTales, but I've never actually played the game.
I would say even on its own, like, even if you don't have too much of an attachment towards the show, I mean, hell, I kind of had so little attachment to the show when I played it for myself, it's still a really good action 2D platformer.
Which is really interesting because, you know, I'm currently going to...
Oh, damn it.
Oh, this line.
Yeah. Why? Oh, no reason.
I just love. I had a thought. Well, I thought now, and we're not perfect, but I could.
I could.
I don't know.
No, right.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely will commend. I don't know if they got any of the writers from the original on board for this, but the writing in this game is just on point to the original show.
I think the writing is largely the same from the original.
Well, it's totally...
With a few new lines of dialogue mixed in.
Yeah, tonally wise, it is completely on point from the show.
In fact, there's one of the levels, the little story within one of the levels is ripped straight from one of the episodes.
Huh.
With a few liberties taken.
Yeah.
You must have come across an ancient Incan poker table, Mr. McD. How about I come down there and you deal me in for a hand?
You come down here and I'll deal you a blow to the head.
Wow.
To be keeping an eye out
Ow.
for trouble, remember?
Remember, this old man folk don't fuck around.
Oh yeah, he's stung.
Yeah, that's like, and it's especially apparent in the I'm not sure how well you kept up with them, Allie, but in the Don Rosa comics, Scrooge is a beast of nature in those.
I imagine. Yeah, no, I've never read any of those comics except, but the one that you're dubbing, I am interested in seeing. Like once it's all done being dubbed.
Well, that's just one of the storylines. Like a lot of the storylines from that particular writer have, like a lot of the storylines from that particular writer have like a lot of great Scrooge moments, and like I said, moments that prove how much of a beast he is. Like there's one instance where I forget the entire setup, but there's a moment where he's chained to these two freight ships, and he summoned the strength to not only break free of the chains, but rip the freights in half in the process.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's kind of a badass.
Jeez. And I thought Obelix with 1 teaspoon of magic potion was already a devastating force of nature.
I remember this part of the original game threw me off a bit because I didn't know you were supposed to hold on. I just kept jumping to the right and ignored Launchpad's helicopter entirely.
Speaking of liberties taken, that's another thing with the remastered. I do know in the original game, Launchpad had this whole minified version of the whatever this plane is he rides, and not to mention every once in a while you'll find him in a level, and you can talk to him if say you want to leave the level if you can't progress any further. For this game, they decided to nix those though because they pretty much got rid of all the bullshit requirements just to progress.
That's good.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Now, would you have preferred it if with other like classic remasters at the time, if there was a way to like swap between classic appearance and this modern appearance?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it could have worked out in this game. It's just that, well, considering all the liberties taken, they'd have to pretty much restructure everything from both this style and the old style.
I will say, like, that's for the graphics. You do unlock an ability to do that with the music, though.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is true. You can unlock 8-bit music though after you beat the game once.
Dude.
Ouch.
Oh,
jeez.
That was close.
Jesus.
It was indeed.
Jeez,
Tribal
Gwee.
people.
Little whew.
How did you guys survive?
Oh, they have their ways.
Oh, no, wait.
No, we don't.
Oh, there you go.
If
That's
you would
a
have gone
good
down there for that
ducky.
one gem, you would have lost all of these.
Yeah.
I mean, it would've-
Well, I mean,
It's in character, but
that is one verbal thing I do like. Like, if you ever come to a point where Scrooge just says fire 1 and he starts
Mrs. Beakley.
Mrs. Beakley, how did you get here?
How did you...
I thought I should tell you. Years later, you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get really buff and kick a lot of ass.
Mrs. Beakley, you're wrecked!
But yeah, that's a neat thing about Mrs. Beakley here. Like in the original game, she'll show up randomly to give you like some healing items. Depending on the difficulty you have this game set on, the things that she can give you changes. Like sometimes she can even give you 1-ups.
Right. She won't give you 1-ups here, because obviously we're on easy mode. They disabled them completely.
Right.
Dope.
Who did the animation for? Was
I
this
love it that
WayForward's
he says-
animation?
Oh yeah, this was handled by WayForward themselves.
Yeah.
Not, but
They were paying close attention to Disney's animation.
anyway,
even
I
if you
think
can sort of tell that they did sort of make their own little nuances with the art style.
yeah. Oh, real quick. Hang on, first go let this guy pass. That statue, Logan. That's the one in the original game that made you
Yeah.
pay the money.
Oh,
It looks
so if you
so much
pogoed
like
on
everything else. Can you really
Right.
blame me for missing it?
If they made it a
It's
different
fine.
color or something, maybe it would have looked cooler. But yeah,
It's really
I get
one
Or
of
made
those-
it more detailed or bigger?
It's really one of those things. Well, it is very distinct compared to other art stuff in the game, but I will agree that that's honestly one of those things you'd only know if you've actually played the original game beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
boy.
I mean,
Ow.
I sort of did, and I
Whoop.
remember how much
Crack.
I do not know what compelled her at that moment.
Oh my god.
I don't know what I was doing.
You know, I remember a while back when I asked Gwee if I could take over for recording duties. Think about it in hindsight, I should have pressed her on further.
Shut up.
Ah!
Just blame Gwee falling whatever. She fell
To
victim
gold
to
fever.
To gold fever. Thank you.
You know, you could say I should have egged her on more.
Gosh, jump.
Shut it.
Leave,
what
leave
would
her,
you say is your
leave her
favorite?
precious. Oh, sorry.
Once we get to there, what would you say is your favorite stage out of this Gwee?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Like
I'm
it.
always a fan of the moon because that classic theme.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think the moon might be my favorite.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
the moon's fun. Oh, by the way, just as a bit of a heads up, Jay Kaufman really liked the moon theme because you're gonna hear like bits of it burn in a lot of these themes.
Oh yeah.
I died again.
So
Saw
yeah,
that.
It's classic NES hard.
I know.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying that in a sense. I just bring that up in the sense of like, I hope you don't get too tired of it because you're gonna be hearing it a lot in this game, even when you're not on the moon.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the same reason why David. It's kind of the same thing about how
Wee.
everyone clearly.
Nice.
Nice.
Don't
It's
worry.
the same- oh wait, jump down quickly. Nice. It's the same thing of like why they clearly liked David Wise's music so much
Oh.
that they kept playing
Oh.
things like
What?
Bramble Scramble.
we
and-
missed out on a free heart container.
She's.
Oh.
Well, I'm
It was in the
sorry.
dirt?
Well, that's
I don't
also
know the
like
ins
a-
and outs of this
Wait,
game.
was it in
It's
the dirt or
hush
something?
hush. It's fine. It's fine. That is one
Wait.
thing that they add to the remake though. Heart containers.
Wait, was it like in the dirt?
No, it was literally on it was on the right wall. You could sort of tell there was a bit of there was a little bit of extra
Crumble.
wall. There was a bit of wall that was not there. I
Oh.
think that was supposed to be your hint that you could actually pass through it.
Well, I didn't know it at the time, and I was having performance anxiety.
What was that?
You're fine. You're fine.
His
Don't
Olmec.
And Steve, don't worry, I'm not actually mad.
It's-
I'm
it's
just
all-
being facetious.
It's called
James.
playing along.
Well, how do you know? Yeah, exactly. How do you know I wasn't being facetious as well? And now we
Oh.
get to the boss of
Well, I-
this area, which I just want to say real quick. I love the extra touches that they add to all the bosses. I think they last a little longer than they need to, though.
In some cases they do, yes.
Oh,
Oh, don't get
do
crushed now.
not get crushed.
But yeah, no, this is basically Olmec from Spelunky, which is why I'm calling it that. But yeah, I like the additional little hazards they add to the boss fights to make them a little more exciting than in the original.
Oh yeah, like in the original, all you really had was just the head. No body to be found.
And also,
Except
be careful
in the
when
background.
yeah, and be careful when he slams down, because when he slams down, he does the old guts man effect of shaking you up when you're grounded.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost so close.
Also known as a shockwave.
Yep.
Oh. I'm assuming Crush as instant kill.
I don't know
Uh,
if it's insta kill, but
I didn't
it's
wanna
best not to
chance it.
avoid.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know myself because I don't think I ever got crushed on these things.
What about you, James? Have you ever said what your favorite level was?
That's a tricky question, actually. I mean, obviously, you're always gonna think back to the moon because of that catchy soundtrack. But I guess in general,
Nice.
you know what? I'll have to get back to you on that.
That's fair. I would say, in terms of, for me, I think it's a tie between the Amazon and the caves.
The games are pretty fun from what I remember. And then there's of course there's the very final level of the game.
Oh.
Oh, that was close.
Yes, it
I
is.
do wish that maybe they compressed this down into like 3 phases as opposed to 5.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean about it being lasting longer than it needs to.
I would honestly say though that this boss is the worst of it.
It feels the worst of it, but I still think that all of them, could be a little shorter.
I guess so.
Oh,
Oh. Well, at least you have the foresight to jump cut.
There.
Yep.
Where's the scepter?
Well,
it fell.
Yeah, it fell.
More like, where's our way out of here?
There he is.
Oh, there it
Oh.
is.
See? This place has fallen to pieces.
No, I'm not leaving without that scepter.
Hey, on second thoughts.
Is your life really worth it right at this moment?
Get us out of here, Launchpad.
Good boy.
Oh. So yeah, that just happened.
Meanwhile, outside.
I cannot believe we came all this way for nothing.
And a whole bunch of gas wasted.
Boogity boogity.
Oh, my.
Hello.
What's the meaning of this?
Outsider, our prophecies have long foretold that our ancient city would one day be returned to us.
You don't say, Jason.
Hundreds of years we have waited, and at last that day has come.
Honestly, he says that.
Sorry,
I
my
thought-
cronies were attacking you earlier.
Quite contrary.
Honestly, he says that.
Is there anything
Considering what just happened, I would have figured the more appropriate responses be, "Old duck, you destroyed our home, and now you must suffer the consequences."
does
You would think.
But instead, let's have this.
from the temple?
Oh boy!
They're climbing for nothing. Hey, Mr. McD?
Nah, it was all worth it in the long run. I mean, we're here, aren't we?
Take it
Yep.
and go in peace.
I mean, this must be a really valuable thing.
The Incan scepter is out!
All, it was just the old king's back scratcher.
Never mind.
It's still jeweled and priceless, shut up.
I guess that would explain all. That would explain all the grime spots.
And the dandruff.
Ew.
Well, to be fair, Ali, the king must have been an old fart. There's probably going to be some residue.
Still ew.
Glistening with the fine condensation.
Okay,
of
shush,
powder.
shush, shush, shush.
Hey, just be lucky they said back scratcher.
By the way, if you play on higher difficulties, you do actually earn a little more in your total funding.
I'm assuming, like, on different difficulties, each of the gems are worth different amounts of money.
I think so. I could be wrong
Still
on that,
really
but
sorry about the graphics.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
honestly, I'm gonna have to ask one of you guys to do a favor for me whenever I get around to working on the thumbnail.
Okay, I guess.
Okay.
If I can remember what it is.
Even the Huey, Dewey, and Louie are convinced it's a fucking
having
back
fun at your
scratcher.
old uncle's expense. Help me decide where we should go next.
I guess it looks vaguely like a back scratcher.
Where shall we go next?
Well, you know what? If you're creative enough, anything could be a back scratcher.
True.
Or the other kind of scratcher.
So where shall we go next?
Oh, with a flick of the wrist. We'll find out next time.
To the land of Dracula.
Oh no.
And hopefully not get turned into a vampire.
Who's up for some Transylvanian dubstep? Stay tuned.
Womp, 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 womp. Bye, guys.